Well, after a little bit of a delay, we get our final race underway. So it is race 12, heat 2, DD2 Masters. After this, the intermediate classification will be discussed, ratified, and then we find out what our grids are going to be like for tomorrow's action, which starts off at 10:30 tomorrow morning for the finals. Let's have a look at the grid for DD2 Masters, heat number 2 here at Wackersdorf. So Michael Becker and Tommy Helfinger ran out on the front row. 5:26 versus 5:06. Then it's the 5:03 and the 5:50 of Andreas Frenzel and Thomas Piet on row number 2. The 5:22 and the 5:02 of Daniel Schollenberger and Klaus Panet. That's row number 3. Row 4, it's the 5:67 and the 5:55 of Andreas Neumann and Stefan Grabau. Completing the top 10, it is the 5:66 and the 5:24 of Marco Winkler and Lennart Schreiber. Then we've got Heiner Born, Patrick Weinstock, Tobias Greff, Tanju Yildiz, and we've got Nico Heiner and Konrad Bayer. That is your 16-strong grid. 8 rows of DD2 Masters competitors, and we have 10 minutes on the clock to go in this race day. Warm-up will start with Micromax tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock local time here in Germany, as we now get things primed, ready to see off the day in style with DD2 Masters. And really looking forward to see how these drivers get on and go through into the next few moments as we close out the racing day here at the Pro Kart Raceland circuit for the opening round of the season, the first official day of competition after 251 days of inactivity in terms of Rotax Max Challenge Germany taking place. So, who's your bets on here for DD2 Masters? Well, I don't know, but I'm sure we're going to find out momentarily because they make their way through the final corner. They split and go into the tram lines. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights out, we're off and racing. And a good start by Becker. He literally managed to get the jump on everybody. And I'm wondering if Andreas Frenzel has managed to get past. I'm just wondering, no, Tommy Helfinger, as Frenzel gets absolutely mugged by the likes of Daniel Schollenberger and Thomas Piet going into the exit of turn 4, which then made it through into turn 5. So quite a few drivers trying to look to gain the upper hand, but it's Becker versus Helfinger at the front of the field once again, as the rest of the field harry their way through into turns 11 and 12 this particular occasion. So 9 minutes and 15 plus 1 lap to go. Michael Becker will lead them across the line to lead after 1 lap, and it looks like we've got Thomas Piet ahead of Daniel Schollenberger. That's the battle for P3. Andreas Frenzel was quite literally bumped and bored all the way down as Schollenberger up the inside of Piet going through into turn 4. Piet looks for the opportunity to get the switchback, but not on that particular occasion as Stefan Grabau swarming all over the back bumper of I think it was either Frenzel. No, it was Klaus Panet that he was trying to get past. So Panet running out the top 6 was being nigh on assaulted from all sides possible by Stefan Grabau without any touching happening between side pod or wheels. So well done, guys. Konrad Bayer and Tanju Yildiz, they've made up some positional gains. Bayer up into 14th behind Yildiz. Patrick Weinstock has gotten past Lennart Schreiber. So we have into the completion of lap number 2. Becker still leads. His lead was nearly 0.4 of a second last time around, and it looks to be, well, it was 0.4 of a second when he got past the line, and he's put in the fastest lap of the race, the 51.201. But Tommy Helfinger trying to respond. Daniel Schollenberger is closing. Now, for those that might be watching the live timing on motorsport-events.se/SE, right, we've got a 3-second time penalty, and it's for Heiner Born for leaving the tram lines with 2 wheels outside on the start. So effectively did the halfway breaker formation. So that's the little slap on the wrist. The bigger slap on the wrist, which might involve a saucepan as well, is the 5-second time penalty for leaving the corridor itself. But Michael Becker completes lap number 3. and now leads by just over 3/10. Stefan Grabau, who had that DNF in the first race, now up into P6 and is closing on the likes of Andreas Frenzel, Thomas Piet. They've all got to watch themselves because Stefan Grabau is absolutely fired up and ready to go for broke. And it looks like Grabau has actually got past Andreas Frenzel. I think that is the case. Let me just have a quick look. Yes, he has. So Andreas Frenzel has dropped to 6th position. And just behind you've got Klaus Parnett and Marco Winkler battling away over 7th and 8th respectively as we head into the last 6 3/4 minutes plus an additional lap. There is Parnett and Winkler as they go through turns 13 and 14. So a good show from both drivers. Marco Winkler was looking at the top 5, but obviously an incident in the first race meant that he dropped down a little bit further down the order than he would have liked. However, the good thing is that he has an opportunity to get into P7, and that we'll see whether he's going to get past Parnett, and he's going to damn sure try. Marco Winkler can be possessed by a whirling dervish, so to speak. Basically had that opportunity to use the inner intestinal fortitude and go for it. In other words, intestinal fortitude can be parlayed by one word with 4 letters: guts. But you can see here that Helfinger is keeping Becker honest, but they need to watch themselves because Daniel Schollenberger is starting to chase them down. And Schollenberger, not on this lap, but the previous one before that, put in the fastest lap of the race, 50.748. So that gives him the opportunity. But now Tommy Helfinger closing in on Michael Becker for the lead. We're about halfway through the race, and Helfinger really now starting to put the pressure on the 5:26 in the second half of this race. And that could prove to pay dividends for him at this particular moment. But the good thing is that Helfinger got past Michael Becker through the second hairpin. Now here comes Daniel Schollenberger, and Schollenberger's got an absolute good run on Michael Becker. Could second be under threat momentarily, because Schollenberger looks to have a good turn of pace in this second heat. Seems like the drop in temperatures might have helped his setup a little bit, who knows. But looks like Andreas Neumann has parked the kart, I'm afraid. And that effectively means he's now got the opportunity of taking an early bath. But at the minute, Michael Becker is in a quandary. If he was close enough to Tommy Helfinger and Daniel Schollenberger was right up his back bumper, he'd have the old risk versus reward routine. It's the, do I attack or do I defend? Well, he's got to defend because Daniel Schollenberger has just put in another fastest lap. And what's more, Schollenberger was 7.5 tenths of a second quicker than Michael Becker on the previous tour. Out of the final corner, 4 minutes to go. Schollenberger is close. He's within lunge range. If he was a kart length closer to Michael Becker on that particular occasion going through turn 3, he could have got the job done rather easily. So Tobias Greff has got past Konrad Bayer. Nico Heine rounds out the 15 that are still circulating, with Andreas Neumann unfortunately retiring on lap number 5 of this race, but still at the battle at the front of the field. You can't really separate them, even if you wanted to try and do so. You'd have to pull them apart, quite forcefully, I might add. As there is the battle for 4th and 5th. Stefan Grabau closing in on Thomas Piet in the Praga chassis, the 550 versus the 555. As 3.25 minutes to go. Schollenberger yet to find that little bit extra to try and close in on Michael Becker. But yeah, Schollenberger actually found 26 thousandths. But look, Michael Becker knows that Schollenberger's chasing him down and trying to get past him. It's one thing to chase somebody down, it's something else completely different to try and pass. And Becker has got the right of way. He's got the racing line. He can do whatever he wants. And the fact, well, within the regulations, of course, he can. And there, he knows exactly where to place the kart in comparison with Daniel Schollenberger. And straight away, by placing it on the inside apex, he gave Schollenberger absolutely nowhere to get past. Nowhere to get past whatsoever. And that's the good sign of how a racing driver reacts to an intensifying situation. 2 minutes and 20 to go, plus an additional lap. Helfinger has gotten away to the tune of nearly 6/10 from Michael Becker. So it's the battles between Becker and Schollenberger for second and third, and then Piet and Krabal, that's for fourth and fifth respectively. Marco Winkler has finally got cut past Klaus Parnett for what is seventh position, and has already gotten away quite a considerable distance. He's about 2.4 seconds up the road from the number 502, as again Becker goes defensive on Schollenberger. Schollenberger not giving up without a fight. He's trying to bring the fight to Michael Becker. And effectively, what he is going to have to do, Becker is going to have to make that rear axle of that 526 Comcart chassis as wide as possible over the next minute and a half, plus an additional lap. And this is where Becker is going to feel the heat. And as they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. But the pressure is on for Michael Becker to hold on to second place. But Tommy Helfinger now knows, he's probably had a quick cheeky look over his left or right shoulder to say, oh, Becker and Schollenberger, that gives me a chance to get away from them. And he's already started doing so. 60 seconds, not 60 minutes. I'm getting ahead of myself there. Could have put myself in for another hour in the broadcast, and I know our stream director would not be very happy with that one. So, however, Michael Becker has been soaking up the pressure from Daniel Schollenberger like a sponge. We go on to the penultimate lap of the race day here at Wackersdorf for the opening round of the 2021 Rotax Max Challenge Germany season. And Helfinger still just over half a second in front of Michael Becker. Daniel Schollenberger has now got I think he sensed that he now knows that he needs to put the frighteners on Michael Becker before it's too late. And then Thomas Piet holding on for fourth ahead of Stefan Krabal. It's going to be close between second and third and fourth and fifth. And now I've just looked that Andreas Frenzel has got Marco Winkler for close company. Oh my goodness, the battle for six is now really heated up as the timer now strikes 0. That is it. The race day is pretty much done and dusted. However, Tommy Helfinger will get the final lap board of the day ahead of anybody else. Becker still ahead of Schollenberger, and Schollenberger's he's got the hurry-up sign he needs. Is he going to be close enough to get a move past on Michael Becker? I don't think he will do. Thomas Piet now staying ahead of Stefan Krabal. Andreas Frenzel ahead of Marco Winkler. Klaus Parnett is being closed in on by Lennart Schreiber for 8th place. So the battles have really started being 2 by 2 by 2. Hurrah. But you can see there that Michael Becker now knows that he's got to go defensive one final time. Schollenberger's got to mount an offensive going through the last 3 corners. He's got to do it now if ever there was a time to do it. And here comes Schollenberger, but Becker's going to put the defensive move on early into the final corner. He's not going to allow it to drift wide, but the win goes to Tommy Helfinger. Michael Becker hangs on to second ahead of Daniel Schollenberger. Thomas Piet beats Stefan Krabal by 0.118 of a second across the line to take fourth. Andreas Frenzel in 6th. Marco Winkler a fraction away from hitting P6 by just over 0.16 of a second. Klaus Parnett, Lennart Schreiber and Patrick Weinstock round out the top 10 and completing the running order. We'll have a look at the rest of the results now. That Tanju Yildiz takes 11th, Konrad Bayer 12th position ahead of Rainer Born, who was hit with a 3-second time penalty post-race for leaving the corridors leaving the tram lines by 2 wheels, with Nico Heiner and Tobias Kreef rounding out the 15 strong that finished the full race distance. But unfortunately for Andreas Neumann, it was a technical issue that caused the 567 to retire on lap number 5.